Ox is the hero we need, and also the hero we deserve. He's the coolest Musk Ox ever, and he's gonna teach you math. Math time! Yeah! All right, over here, Mr. Musk Ox. Okay. All right, let's do this. So, today we're going to be working on least common multiples. So we've been working on our greatest common factor. That's what we've been doing, which is greatest common factor, right? So now we're doing the exact opposite. Least means smallest. Common means the same. But now we're looking for multiples, which means the thing has been multiplied, not divided, multiplied. So we can do this. It's not hard. Let's start with our first two numbers. We've got 2 and we got 5. So what we need to do is we need to get enough numbers that we can find one that they have in common. But again, we're going to be multiplying times 1, times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5, etc., until we get where we need to go. So let's make a grid. That way we don't get confused. All right. Mr. Musk Ox, does that look good? Yeah, it looks good. I like it. Looks solid. Okay, let's do this. So we're just going to multiply our base number times a multiple. So 2 times 1 equals 2. 2 times 2 equals 4. 2 times 3 equals... what am I doing? 2 times 3 equals 6. Mr. Musk Ox, why didn't you catch me sooner? Oh, I was sleepy. No, don't be sleepy. 6. 2 times 4 equals 8. And 2 times 5 equals 10. Whew, 2's are done. That's pretty hard, huh? It wasn't so bad. Yeah, well, let's try this again. So now we have to do the same thing with our 5s, right? 5 times 1, that equals 5. 5 times 2 equals 10. 5 times 3 equals 15. 5 times 4 equals 20. 5 times 5 equals 25. All right, now all we need to do is find the smallest same multiple. So 2 is not going to work. I don't see any 2's down here. 4 is not going to work. 6 isn't going to work. 8 isn't going to work. 10 might work because it ends in a 0. So let's see, 10. Nope. 10. 10 is our smallest common multiple, or our least common multiple. So the answer is 10. Let's try with 2 and 4. I don't think this one's going to be very hard. 2 and 4. Multiples of 2. The first multiple of 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4, just like up here. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 5 is 10. Boop, 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 boop. All right, so now we just have to do 4s. 4 times 1 is 4. Oh! Mr. Musk Ox, do you see what I see? I see some 4s. I see a lot of 4s. There's like a 4 here. And there's a 4 here. I don't even need to go any further. 4. My least common multiple is 4. How easy is that? It's very easy. We should do that more. We should do that more. You're absolutely right, Mr. Musk Ox. Uh-oh. You know what I see? I see this 30. That's big. That's kind of scary. But I think we can still do it. So let's start with 5 and 30. Well, I'm just going to do 2 for 30. I'm going to do 30 and 60 and see if we get where we need to go. And now let's do the 5s. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 5 is 25. Remember, that is the square. It's a number times itself. 5 times 6 is 30. Look at that. We have a 30 and a 30. Mr. Musk Ox, I believe that our least or smallest same multiple is going to be 30. This seems pretty easy once you figure it out, doesn't it? Yeah. Uh-oh. Next one looks kind of hard, though. 4. And we've got 6. So, one of the things that we can do is we can look at this and go, will 24 turn into 6? No, 24 won't turn into 6. But will 6 turn into 24? Let's take a look. So 6, 12, 18, 24. Did 6 turn into 24? Yeah. 6 times 4 equals 24. So we already know that that will be our lowest common multiple. It has to be because this is the first multiple of 24, right? So if we know 6 times 4 is 24, and 24 is our first multiple, we know that that is the smallest multiple we can get. Because the smallest multiple we can get would be, for 24, would be 24 times 1. We can do the same up here if we look. Will 3 turn into 30? Yeah, if we multiply it 10 times. And 30 is the smallest that a multiple of 30 can get, right? Let's see if we see another one. Oh, this one, 2 and 4, right? We know 4 will have to be the smallest because 2 will turn into 4. And 4 can't get any smaller when we're dealing with multiples, because with multiples, we're making a number bigger. So our first opportunity to have a multiple is 4. So let's use that thought process going forward to number 7. So we have 5 and we have 12. Our smallest opportunity would be 12, right? Because 5 into 12. But 5 doesn't go into 12. So we're going to have to work our way through and see what we can do. So we have 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 3, 15. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 8 is 40. 5 times 9 is 45. And then last we have 50. So that gives us the first 10. I always start with the small one because it just makes things a little bit easier. Let's go with 12. So the first multiple of 12 is 12 times 1 is 12. Times 2 is 24. Putting in my commas so my numbers all don't run together. Drives my brain a little crazy. 12, 24. Next is 36. Next is 44. Whoop, no. 48, sorry. It is late, I'm sorry. If you look, it's 2, 4, 6, 8. So we know our next one's 0, and then 6. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. Then we know it's going to be 72, 84, 96, 104. So we're going to stop there. Let's take a look. So 5 won't work, 10 won't work, 15 won't work, nope, 20, nope, 25, nope, 30, no, 35, nope, 40, nope, 45, no, 50, You got nothing. Nothing. So one of the things that we could do is we could cheat. All these numbers, none of them work. But what we could do is do 5 times 12. 5 times 12 will give us 60. Because we have 5 and because we have 12, we know that 5 times 12 will give us a multiple of both numbers. Because both numbers in it are multiplied, and that gives us 60. So our lowest common multiple will be 60 in this case, because we know next will be 60, or next will be 55 and then 60, and then this one has 60 right here. So we know if we just kept going, we'd get there. Sometimes if your multiples are looking like this, your best answer is just to multiply them by each other. So let's go to the next one. We have 3 and we have 10. So we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, and 30. For 10, we have 10, 20, 30. There it is, 30, 30. So we know our answer is 30. We could have also gone 3 times 10, but that won't always work. So it's usually better to make lists just in case. Don't you think, Mr. Moose? Oh, you're not Mr. Moose. I'm sorry, Mr. Musk Ox. That was rude. No, I forgive you. Thank you. So let's take a look. We have 3 strategies we can use here to see if we're going to solve this the easy way or the hard way. Strategy 1 is where we write everything out. Strategy 2, we'll write it out. Strategy 2, check and see if 1 will multiply into the other. Will 1 change into the second number? And option 3 is we multiply them together. So let's start with writing it out. So we have 5, 10, 15, and then 15. So we know 15 is going to be our answer. We could also try strategy number 2. Will 15 turn into 5? No, 15 won't turn into 5. But 5 will turn into 15, and 15 is the smallest multiple of 15, so it can't get any smaller. So this is our answer, because 5 times 3 equals 15. The second one is we can multiply them by each other, but if we do that, we're going to get a number that's way too big. 5 times 5 is 25. Oops, sorry. 5. 5 times 1 is 5, 6, 7, 75. That's way too big. That is not going to be our smallest common multiple. It will give us a common multiple. It's just not the smallest one. And we're going to need that for when we start dealing with fractions more and more. So we're on problem 10. I want you to stop. I want you to try this by yourself. So pause it. Take a minute. Figure it out. And then when you're ready, press play. So pause it now. Okay, now we're going to move forward. So 15 and 12. Oof, those are big numbers. So let's take a look. 15 and 12. We have 12 and we have 15. Let's go to 10. So we have 12, 24. Actually, we have this on here already, don't we? 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84, 96, 104, and 11, 2. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, 108. 12. Haha. And then 15. 15. 30. 45. 60. Oh, there it is. 60. So in this case, the list method was best, because 15 won't turn into 12, 12 won't turn into 15. And if we multiply them by each other, 15 times 12, 2 times 5 is 10, carry our 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 5, 0. So we'd have 0, 880, which is way too big for 60. Way too big. So I hope this helped. I know these are a lot of work. I mean, we did a lot of work to find our answers. But if you figure out which method works for you and you know different methods, it can make this way easier. This is very messy looking, I know. But Mr. Musk Ox, he knows you can do it. He knows you can do all the math because he can do it, and he doesn't have any toes, so he can't count them. It's very hard to do math with no toes. All right, you guys have a good night. We will see you tomorrow.